where the truth don't miss, no spin, no script, just real talk with Chris. Cut the noise, break the mold, say the things they won't be told. Straight no chaser, no disguise, only truth behind these mics.
So,
as you mentioned, it all happened so quickly, and I wonder, especially because unfortunately you have experience with these sorts of threats, in that moment when you realized there was a threat and service agents were telling us to get down, can you describe what was going through your mind?
breaking news: Donald Trump
That's a very good question. Actually, it was. It's always shocking.
There was
when
a
something
shooter
like this
at the
happens.
White House
To me, a little bit.
correspondent
And,
dinner.
That never changes. The fact we were sitting right next to each other, First Lady on my right, and I heard a noise, and sort of thought it was a tray. I thought it was a tray going down. I've heard that many times, and it was a pretty loud noise. And it was from quite far away. He hadn't breached the area at all. They really got him. But, so it was quite far away, but it was a gun.
But this is just breaking.
And some people really understood that pretty quickly. Other people didn't. I was watching to see what was happening. Probably should have gone down even faster. Melania was very cognizant, I think, of what happened. I think she knew immediately what happened. She was saying, "That's a bad noise." And we were whisked away along with other people, but we were really whisked away. And again, the performance of the Secret Service and the police.
I skipped over the morons that came before him, even though I don't have too high of an opinion of Trump. I started the video right where Trump was. I didn't get any of Kash Patel, freaking goofy-eyed Kash Patel or anybody else that spoke before him. But this White House dinner just took place, and it's breaking news that there was like a gunman that came running in. It's all right here.
All of the law enforcement, I thought, was really good. So it was very quick. There wasn't a lot of time to be thinking, because it was a matter of seconds before we were out the door and gone into an area. We very much, and you wanted to too, we very much wanted to continue it, because I don't like to let these sick people, these thugs, these horrible, horrible people, change the fabric of our life, change the course of what we do. So we held out. You were there. We held out right till the end, but they didn't want to take a chance, and I understand there was protocol. But we're going to be doing one hopefully within the next 30 days or sooner, and I am ready, willing, and able. And I was all set to really rip it. And I said to my people, this would be the most inappropriate speech ever made if I said one. So I'll have to save it. I don't know if I could ever be as rough as I was going to be tonight. I think I'm going to be probably very nice. I'll be very boring the next time, but we're going to have a great event. And you did a fantastic job. Thank you very much. Peter, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. There's a report in the New York Post that this assailant assembled his weapon somewhere on site at the hotel. What do you think about that? And I ask respectfully, why do you think this keeps happening to you?
Well, I've studied assassinations.
I mean, did they kiss his ass or what?
I must tell you, the most impactful people, the people that do the most, you take a look at the people, Abraham Lincoln, I mean, you go through the people that have gone through this, where they got them. But
that was literally a disgusting statement by him, in my opinion. He's studied assassinations, the Butler incident. Nobody wants to, there's no push to look into it any further. A podcaster named Tucker Carlson had to find the bio on Thomas Crooks because the FBI claimed there was no digital footprint, no social media, nothing. Tucker Carlson reveals all this metadata on Thomas Crooks, and then they have to step in and, yeah, there's this, there's that. But, you know, we don't want to look at anything until somebody else exposes it. It's just like Candace Owens and the Charlie Kirk assassination. How is he going to sit up here? Oh, I've studied assassinations, when Charlie Kirk was assassinated around 7 months ago, and we're getting fed some bullshit on Charlie Kirk's assassination. And then this stuff happens. We're going to have to keep an eye on this and just see what comes out of this. Because in every single instance, when something like this happens, there's always some kind of hidden agenda, it seems. I guess we can wait and see, but that's pretty much every time. So you can bet the bank on it.
The people that do the most, the people that make the biggest impact, they're the ones that they go after. They don't go after the ones that don't do much because they like it that way. And when you look at the people that have either, whether it was an attempt or a successful attempt, they're very impactful people. Just take a look at the names here, the big names. And I hate to say I'm honored by that, but I've done a lot. We've done a lot. We've taken this country, and we were a laughing stock for years, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We've changed this country.
I mean, that's just a lie. Maybe in his bubble, maybe at the elite status, maybe they are living. Obviously, he's not impacted by economic downturns. But around here, where I live, we're not the hottest country. We're a laughing stock. Our country's at war, unprovoked attack on a country on behalf of a foreign lobby. That's where we're at. But somehow in his mind, that equates to the hottest country in the world. We've got China breathing down our neck with their advances. We've got our military being deployed. So we're in the hottest position on the earth.
And there are a lot of people that are not happy about that. So I think that's the answer, Peter.
After Butler,
Yeah, like the 75 million voters that voted for you, other than the few that just don't pay attention to anything, maybe those don't really mind or don't have don't give a shit either way.
team for a while rethought outdoor events.
Yeah.
Do you think that you now need to rethink
No.
indoor
Well,
events?
but then you just don't do events. No, I can't do that. I have to, it is what it is. We have to do it. The room was very, very secure. He charged from 50 yards away, so he was very far away from the room.
And what did you think when you saw the video of how fast he was running?
He was moving. He was really moving. And the reaction time was great. Boy, those guys, they had their guns drawn literally by the time he was there.
I mean, you've got this guy over here. He's taking lead on covering up the Epstein files. I'm not just going to crash out on Trump because I do believe that he's under a lot of pressure. But this guy over here, I mean, what a loser. He's drunk with the hockey team. His girlfriend's going on rants on social media. We are a laughing stock, the hottest country on the earth. He's living in La La Land.
Yeah, they were shooting. I thought they were very impressive. And if I didn't, I'd let you know. I'm not going to be, I would not stand for that. No, I thought they were very impressive.
Thank you, President Trump, and thank you for updating us on the
Thank you.
suspect earlier. Were you aware of any threats? Was your team aware of any threats beforehand? And do you believe you were the target of this tonight?
I guess. I mean, these people they're crazy. They're crazy. And, you never know. He was very far away from me. He had to go through a lot. We had resources all over. We had resources sitting at tables, literally in disguise, sitting maybe at your table. Who knows? But we had people all over the room. So he had a long way to go. That was really a first line of defense, and they got him. And they really, they acted incredibly. No, we've had no. There was no notification. We had no idea. Go ahead,
Do you
Kevin.
know any political motivations from this?
Well, you never know. Now, we'll be able to tell you that maybe by tomorrow or the next day. He's in custody, and they're asking him a lot of questions. I guess they're going over, Todd, and they're already at his...
By the way, initial reports were that the gunman was dead. And then very shortly after, it was announced that he was in custody. So I'm sure, you know, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to speculate on it, but I won't be surprised if if it comes out that he's, you know, he admits he's connected to Iran or some crap. You know, it's just gonna be crap. We already know that.
Department. He lives in California, and they're over there, so they'll be able to tell you. Thank you, Caitlin.
President Trump, did the suspect say anything, or
By the way, if I'm
was
wrong,
wearing anything that would
good,
allege some type
but
of motive here?
it's pretty
Yes,
easy
you
to
know,
see
I mean,
these
he
things
was,
coming at this point.
A guy who looked pretty evil when he was down. You know, they had him down. He was fighting.
He doesn't have
hard.
very
He was
much support for this
in my
Iran war
opinion,
right
a
now. It
sick
would be
person.
very
Who would do that but a
convenient
sick
if this
person?
guy was
But I
somehow
think you're gonna find
connected
everything
to
about him. No reason.
an Iran sleeper cell or something, and he could definitely use that right now.
to talk about it now, but tomorrow at this time, long before this time, you're going to know a lot of things about him. They seem to think he was a lone wolf, and I feel that too.
Are you concerned about U.S. Secret Service protection ability? We saw several of the detailees take minutes to be escorted out of the room.
No, they acted very quickly. No, I was very impressed by Secret Service.
Oh yeah, no, oh no. A gunman gets into the White House dinner. Oh, Secret Service. I mean, they're doing great. They're doing great. Unlimited resources. Great people.
I mean, I'm the one, and Mark Wayne, you would agree with that, I think. I'm the one that would complain. You don't have to complain for me. I would be complaining. I'd be up here right now saying they didn't do their job. Oh, believe me, because, you know, it's my life, and I want to live because I want to make this country great. That's why I want to live. But when you're impactful, they go after you. When you're not impactful, they leave you alone. Okay, a couple of more. Go ahead, please.
Is there any indication that this shooting could have been linked to the war in Iran?
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
I don't think so, but you never know. We're going to know a lot.
Oh, maybe.
We have the best people in the world
Maybe.
working on it, and we're going to know a lot. Please.
Mr. President, there's a lot. There's
Definitely open-ended.
you, as well as some of us who have covered Butler, experienced another horrific day 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What felt similar? You know, you had the First Lady with you today. What felt different? And you have
And the funny thing is, a few years ago, this entire room of journalists would just crash out on him with nonstop attacks. And now all of a sudden, oh, you know, this is so horrific. Oh, we care about you. Respectfully, this and that.
another 2+ years in office. Are you concerned about something like this happening
Well, I
again?
can't be concerned. I can only get great people. They did the job, in my opinion, a much better job than Butler. Butler had one weak spot that we all know about. Somebody should have been up there. But even Butler, we had our sniper on our side within 4.2 seconds from a distance of about 400 yards, one shot, and he was gone. And if he didn't do it, now, you know, he's David. His name was David. I say, hello, David, every time I see him. David, I like you very much, David. But think of that. Now, if he doesn't hit him, and he hit him right between the eyes from 400 yards without any notice, nobody knew. He heard a sound. He looked over, and there was actually a tree that was somewhat in his way. You know the story very well. And he aimed, he fired, and if he didn't do that, beyond me, you would have had a lot more people killed. We lost one great person and 2 people very badly hurt. They're okay now. But no, that was so. In a sense, you know, it was pretty amazing the job they did. But they did have that one weak spot, as you know. They should have had that covered. Tonight they had everything covered very quickly, and he was fast. He was running full blast, and they got him before they got any further. I was very far away. You know, he hadn't anywhere close to breach the doors of the ballroom. The ballroom was sealed, and everybody in there. That's why once those doors opened, they didn't want to do tonight. If the doors weren't opened, we could have probably done it tonight, but I think we're much better off rescheduling. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, for you and perhaps law enforcement as well, what is the level of confidence that this was a lone actor, and has the suspect made any statements to police while in custody?
Yeah, I think it's just it's my profession. We have great professionals up here and outside that have been working with us. My impression is he was a lone wolf, whack job. These are crazy people. These are crazy people, and they have to be dealt with. We have
Yeah, all the lone gunmen, they seem to be doing a lot of favors for the elites.
that in the second attempt, as you know, and he's spending life in prison. Because if you let him out, they'll probably, if he serves 10 years or 15 years, you let him out, he'll probably try it again with somebody else. They're sick people. We have a lot of sick people. But you're going to know, I think, very shortly.
Yeah, a lot of pedophiles running our government. They are very sick people. Very sick people.
Shortly, you're going to know, Todd, a lot about him. You're going to know a lot about him. Yeah, a couple of more. Yeah, please, go ahead.
Are you concerned about political violence? This could be politically
All
motivated.
violence. I'm concerned about everything. Look, but I can't be so concerned that you can't function. No, I'm here. It's a dangerous profession. I tell the story. Race car drivers, I think it's very dangerous. So you take 1% and then take about 10% of 1%, just to break it down very easily, they die. So much less than 1%, 10% of 1%. I think bull riding is very dangerous. If you take about the same 10% of 1%, much less than 1%.
Bro, he is embarrassing.
If you take presidents, it's 5.8%.
He is literally embarrassing.
And about 8% are shot at. So nobody told me this was such a dangerous profession. If Marco would have told me, maybe I wouldn't have run.
Well, yeah, when you're covering
Maybe I
for
would have said, "I'll take
pedophiles,
a
you have
pass."
the majority
No,
of the
it's a
country
dangerous
hating
profession,
you.
But I don't view it that way. Look, I'm here to do a job. It's part of the job. It is a dangerous. I can't imagine that there's any profession that's more dangerous. But I love the country, and I'm very proud. I'm very proud of the job we've done. You see what's happened. We have a great country. We've got, I think, the most successful, the hottest country anywhere in the world. This happened over a period.
Bro, I don't know what world he's living in. That's just categorically wrong.
Of just a year, and we're going to do great things, but with that come risks. There's no question about it. Yeah.
To that end, I mean, there's been so much political violence, not just aimed at yourself, but at other members of Congress, state house speakers, you name it. Is that just the cost of doing business to do politics in America anymore?
Yeah. Well,
what does that say about our country?
Too. We're not the only country. You look at this great violence with all countries. I was talking to somebody from another country today.
This is the same guy that just proposed, redoing FISA. And in that post, he said that he was willing to give up some of his rights as an American citizen. So they're going to use this. They're going to use this. That's why you've got this talking head out here talking about, these people they're receiving so much political violence. Just like Erica Kirk couldn't go to interview J.D. Vance. There's a threat against her life. Even though it comes out that she lied to everybody, it's just put in the memory hole, just like every other lie that comes down the pipe. They're going to use it. They're going to use it to take more rights away from Americans, to do more surveillance on Americans.
And they have numerous assassinations of political figures all over the world. You look at South America, it's like some of the numbers are just horrific. It's dangerous. It's dangerous stuff, whether it's here or someplace else. No country is immune. No country. Good question.
At this point?
Well, probably if I decided to just not do much, if I let everybody rip us off and take advantage of us. Look, we're leading the world in trade now. We're leading the world in the military. We're the greatest military in the world. I rebuilt it in my first term, and now we use it.
So predictable. Yeah, he spent $2.3 trillion in his first term on the military, probably preemptively knowing that he was going to go to war with Iran in his second term. It's just my opinion.
Because we have no choice. We can't let, as an example, Iran, we can't let them get a nuclear weapon. Everything will be peanuts compared to that if they ever were given a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, back to the nuclear threat. The same
Marco
nuclear
and I were
threat
talking
before
about it today.
9/11.
They would use it without even hesitation. We can't do that. It was a shame. I said,
Oh, and he knows. He knows. Oh, they would use the nuclear weapon. The same nuclear weapon that intelligence agencies have been telling us is a fabrication.
oh boy, look at the numbers. We just broke 50,000 in the Dow. We just broke 7,000 in the S&P. They said we couldn't do it in 7
Okay,
years.
Pam Bondi.
5 years, 4 years. They were saying maybe in 5 or 6 years. And we did it in 1 year. And I called everybody together. I called all of these people and others, and I said, we have to take a little journey. I see to do this. We just had the great number. We just broke 50,000. Wasn't supposed to happen during my term. Wasn't reachable. Did it in 1 year, and I said,
I mean, at least he's not throwing out the Dows at 50,000 in the same breath as he's saying there are no Epstein files, like Pam Bondi did in Congress, lying under oath.
we're going to have to make a journey to Iran. They're going to have a nuclear weapon if we don't do it. We had the B-2 bombers take them out. I terminated in the first term the Obama
BB's
agreement,
sitting
the
back
Iran
like,
nuclear agreement, which
you're
was a
so great,
disaster. That
thank
was
you.
a road to a nuclear weapon. They would have used it. They would have used it 100%.
No. Actually,
So,
BB sitting
when
back
you
like,
do things
yep,
like that,
that's
you become
right.
a target. If I wasn't doing that, I guess I'd be a lot less of a target. But
If you weren't doing that,
okay, one
BB
more
would be
question.
mad at you.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. Thank you, President Trump. Do you know how the gun was brought into the hotel? And also, how does this event impact you as the leader of our country?
I mean, what's interesting too is they have mentioned multiple times already. Oh, the gunman actually assembled the gun inside. They're gonna use that too. They're gonna use that talking point. Mark my words. They're gonna use the talking point of the gun being assembled because of the issues that they are running into, trying to sell us the Charlie Kirk assassination narrative.
Do you think it will change your
I
leadership?
like not to think about it. I lead a pretty normal life, considering it's a dangerous life. I think I handle it as well as it can be handled. I think a lot of other people, you read stories where they become basket cases. To be honest with you, I'm not a basket case. I really take it as it is. I do it for the country. I'm not doing it for any other reason. I have a first lady who's doing a terrific job. She loves the country, and she recognizes it better than anybody. She's told me numerous times. She said, "You are in a dangerous job," but that goes along with her too. I mean, it's dangerous for her too. We sat there tonight. We heard that noise, and it was either a tray or a bullet. I was hoping it was a tray, but it wasn't. And again, we had some very brave people doing a great job, so we're very proud of them and happy with them. I just want to thank everybody. They will be able to give you all that information as to the names and everything else. I think we released the names already. Most of you would have it, but his name. We appreciate it. I see so many tuxedos and beautiful dresses. It was a little different evening than we thought, but we're going to do it again, and we have a great chairman who we're so proud of, and we have to make it better. We'll make it safer, I guess, right? But we're going to make it even better. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
First, you talked about how impactful this was. Can we hear from her about?
Well, honey, would you want to say something?
Okay.
Huh?
One in the back.
Right.
Millions of people across the globe, in fact, are watching you. You demonstrated courageous leadership, and thank God you're alive. All of us are alive today. What is the message that you want to give to the world that this should change? What corrective measures can we take from here on?
Well, all you can do, look, I don't care how many people you have, how good they are. They can be the greatest people. You have the greatest security in history. If you have a whack job who's got a brain, but it's a little bit distorted or a lot distorted, they can make trouble. I would say, Pete, right? They can
like
make
the
trouble.
two guys standing
Some
next
of
to
these
you.
people are of genius level IQ, and they're nuts. So it can be trouble. So you do absolutely the best. You get the best. We have the best people. Well, look, it was proven tonight. He started running from 50 yards, And he was fast. He was like a blur on tape. He was moving. They turned. It was very impressive the way they got him, because a lot of people would be looking and saying, you know, it's like a weird feeling, and they would let him get through, but they didn't let him get through. They drew those guns so fast. They looked like Matt Dillon. They looked like somebody that knew what they were doing. And what do we do? But it comes with the territory. And if you want to do a great job, I really believe that. And you take a look at what's happened to some of our greatest presidents, and it doesn't happen to people that don't do anything. And it's not going to deter me from winning the war in Iran. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I really don't think so, based on what we know. But we're going to continue to do a great job. That's all I can do. Thank you very much.
I suspect that he knows
See you
more.
tomorrow. Thank you.
I suspect that he knows more. I don't believe him. You know, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. Every time something like this happens, because they are so deceitful and deceptive, it's so difficult to trust anything anymore coming out of government. But, you know, maybe I'm wrong. But if I'm not, mark my words, they're going to use this. They're going to use this to put forth stricter surveillance. They're going to use it. I think they're going to use the talking point that they cited multiple times about putting the gun together inside. I think they're going to use that. Somehow they're going to end up using that in the Charlie Kirk trial. Now, maybe I'm wrong there too, but these are just, it's patterns. They always, just like the very last guy, is there any measures that we can take? Yeah, what? Take away the rights of the American people, right? That's what this always leads to. That's what the Patriot Act did after 9/11, which was a false flag. Everybody knows it now. And every time something like this happens, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but this was a special report by Real Talk with Chris. I gave it to you exactly how I see it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But it's not too hard to see how much they lie to us nowadays. Have a good night, everybody.